Hey friends, welcome back to the DL2LT Gaming Podcast. In this episode, we are going to continue our discussion on the Summer Games announcement in 2023. I'm your host Ron, and I'm joined by my good friend and co-host Jax. Hey Jax, how are you?
Hey everybody, welcome back to LTLT.
So, what have you been up to this week, Jax?
Oh, thanks for asking. Work's been super busy this week, so I didn't get much time to play Diablo. I'm still trying to get on it. I haven't finished the main quest yet. I don't even have the horse. That is probably one thing that's kind of annoying. You don't get the horse until later in the acts. But like last time we played, we were starting Act 3 together, and I'm probably near the end of Act 3. Yeah. And then
Okay.
I had a Steam notification this morning because I had a game called Dredge on wishlist, and it's on
Mhm.
discount right now with 20%. So I'm highly tempted. It's only $130, but I don't think I'm gonna have time to play it. So that's why I'm gonna wait until maybe the summer discount, which might be even higher.
Yeah, absolutely, because
Yeah.
Steam traditionally we're going to have a end of summer or midsummer game sale, and you probably can get
Yeah.
it in double-digit amount.
Have you heard of that game, Ron?
No, I'm just wondering what it is.
Okay, it was out in 31st of March this year. Okay, and
Oh, a new game. Okay.
I'm gonna read the intro because I reckon you will find it quite cool. Dredge is a single-player fishing adventure with a sinister undercurrent. Sail your catch,
What?
upgrade your boat, and dredge the depths for long-buried secrets. Explore a mysterious
Oh.
archipelago and discover why some things are best left forgotten. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
I mean the art style is very it's like animation and it's cartoony, but it's like fishing.
Mm-hmm.
You drive a boat and you can upgrade it, so it's kind of cool. I reckon it'd be cool on the Steam Deck,
Oh, okay. So it's more like an action adventure or just an adventure game? Or is it a 2D or a 3D game?
It's 3D, but I think it's just kind
Uh-huh.
of from the pictures. It seems like there may be set angles, and then your ship will come in and out
Ah,
with
okay.
different angles.
Ah, okay,
Fishing
okay.
adventure,
That
you
sounds a
know.
bit yeah. Didn't expect
Hey,
you to be interested in a game like this.
hey! The reviews are overwhelmingly positive. 95% of
Oh.
12,000 reviews all time.
Well,
That's
12,000.
not
That's quite
bad.
impressive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for that price, maybe. Okay, maybe this summer discount. And if it's any good, I'll tell everyone about it later.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ron, what have you been up to?
Well, since you've been busy, I've progressed a little bit along Diablo 4. I already got my horse.
Is it from Act 4? I heard that when you finish Act 3, you can get the horse.
Yeah, yeah. I think after the first mission in Act 4, you get a horse. To be honest, I
Okay,
think it's a bit underwhelming for the horse since it's just really a horse for you to travel a little bit faster.
but I heard you get a
So,
move to jump off the horse and then attack people, right?
yeah, but compared to the skills you have, it's not really that powerful. So it
Yeah.
looks cool for the first few times, but after a bit, it wears off. And it's
I
just another way for you to travel.
Quick question: with the speed of the horse, are you able to run through enemies if you don't want to fight them?
You got a skills to run faster, but in my experience, it's not running too fast, and you get blocked by some enemies.
Okay.
It's not really that useful, and I'd rather be off the horse and actually fighting. It's a bit overhyped for the horse since we don't get the horse until Act 4, but it's just not really that good compared to what we have been doing running around anyway.
Yeah. But like walking around just killing things is kind of fun, right?
Yeah, but that's the core part of Diablo, right? You run around fighting everything, and hopefully a legendary will drop. That was the fun part.
Are you level 50 yet?
No, I'm something 43 or 4. I forgot.
Okay, I'm around that.
Since,
Okay. Okay, cool.
yeah.
Any other games you've been playing?
Yeah, I've like since I only play a little bit of Diablo, and not too far along with you. So I also played the Final Fantasy 16 demo on PS5, and I wasn't too interested before since for the past few installment from Final Fantasy, I tried it a little bit. I wasn't too interested in, and when it was announced that last year game show, it was based in a medieval era. I was quite interested and there was a demo on PS5, so I tried it out, and it is
Yep.
actually quite fun. Yeah, the whole demo started out with two. You are one of the giant beasts fighting each other. It's like you are Gandalf, but you are a phoenix, and you are fighting the Balrog, falling down a chasm. It was pretty cool. It's like Godzilla
Okay.
fighting, and yeah, and then it slowly cuts into the main character, and then describes what happened before, and then at the very end of the demo, which is around 2 hours long only, and you just go back to the at the beginning of the fight scene and finish the fight and then start. I mean, that's the whole prologue of the Final Fantasy 16.
Okay, was that the demo? Was that the whole demo? Did you finish the demo?
I finished the demo, yeah, it's only 2 hours long. It's just a prologue of the game to get you
Okay.
hyped up and see if you are interested.
And are you interested?
Yeah, I'm thinking of buying it, but with Diablo and other games coming out, I'm just thinking I might save it for another day. All right, let's move on with the show. Coming back this episode, we're going to continue our discussion on the summer games. So let's start a little bit on a bitter tone. So since there's a lot of game that trailers coming out in the past month, we definitely going to have some disappointment. So, and
Yep.
we both do have some disappointment. So let's start with that. So, Jax, do you have any disappointment?
Yes, obviously, like, I mean, there were many, many games shown, and obviously, there's bound to be one or two that it doesn't live up to your expectation. I mean, obviously, like, I would say, just gotta come straight off, the game that probably took me back a little bit was Avowed in the Xbox showcase.
Oh yeah.
Because in the year before, they showed up just a quick teaser, and the graphics looked quite different, but that could have been simply a CGI trailer. And then it showed,
yeah, I remember
it was
that.
very short. I remember it was in Dark Dungeon, and then it suddenly showed you dueling two magic. That was like the ultimate, Elder Scrolls style. First person,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. And then so when they showed off actually some gameplay trailers this time, it took me by surprise because it felt totally different. And to me, it didn't look as good. I mean, in the time of recording, there have been many articles coming out from, say, Windows Central about the developers acknowledging that and saying that the graphics will be better. And then they did say something along the line of the trailer we saw were still in alpha. And don't forget, with Avowed, they didn't give a release date yet. So we could be at least 2 years away. And many things can happen, right?
Yeah, especially these days. I think Avowed is one of the games that got hit hard by COVID development schedule.
Yeah, and it's still quite early. I mean, like, if we look back to the Xbox showcase, any games that is in 2024, they will actually put 2024. But they didn't put any date on, didn't even put a year on Avowed. So I guess it's not 2024. And it would be like 2025 plus. So
Okay.
it's still early, to be honest. With Avowed, it is done by Obsidian, who did Outer
Yeah,
Worlds. And like their
Yes.
story is quite witty, the writing is quite good. And the good thing about Obsidian's game is, even though Outer Worlds obviously you can equate it near like Fallout, and Avowed, everyone is touting it to be their Elder Scroll. But good thing about Obsidian is normally the game is quite a bit shorter. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking forward to it, like you said before, like from the trailer, like I think it's like 2 or 3 years ago, maybe.
Yep.
But that trailer
Yeah.
the game looks a bit more dark and like dungeon styled, and the new trailer looks a bit too bright in my opinion. The art
Yep.
style is quite different from what we expected, but since it's created by Obsidian, hopefully there are like 2 years more of development, it will be improved.
Yep. The cool thing about Avowed is it's set in the Pillars of Eternity universe. So I'm looking forward to that with all the different laws and deities. Did you ever get to play any of the Pillars games?
I did play a little bit of the first and a little bit of the second one only, but I'm still finding time to get through it since this is a very long RPG style of game.
Yeah, there's quite a few of those, right?
Yeah, there's quite a few of those, and you need a lot of time to play it. And with my backlog, and obviously your backlog, we can't even start to play any of that kind of game anymore.
Yeah. I remember last year when there weren't many games, I was playing. I can't remember which Pillars. It was on it was on Game Pass anyway. And then I swear I spent like 30 hours, and I still feel like I'm like less than 30%.
Less than 30%. Oh my god. But I think if you
Okay.
install it on your Steam Deck, it will be a good come back for it, since it should run pretty well on your Steam Deck.
Well, let's hope so. I'm just waiting for Game Pass to be supported natively on Steam Deck because
Oh,
there
yeah,
are so
yeah.
many games that we saw recently on the Xbox Showcase that I'm definitely interested in, especially these single player RPG. It will just be great. Like, Starfield is going to be amazing. If it runs good on my Steam Deck, oh my god, I might actually be able to possibly finish the game.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Especially if it's on Game Pass, supported on Steam Deck, and like you're already kind of paid for it, so it'll be a good game for you to finish on Steam
Yeah.
Deck. There's a lot of game that is going to come out on Game Pass, right? But like not every one of them is going to be very good, in my opinion. Like
Yeah, of course.
one of the games that I'm really looking forward to before was Payday 3, since
Yep.
we have so much fun playing Payday 2. I remember when I was living with my parents, I was playing Payday 2 with you and one of our mates, Timmy, and I was just shouting at Timmy, like, what are you doing, man? Get the bag, throw it. It was like so much fun time in that game. Yeah. And I did remember, like, at 3 a.m., my mom come out, was like, just keep it down, okay? I was swearing really hard. But that's the magic of the game, just keep you tensed up, like very intense and very emotional at that time. That's what
Yeah.
makes Paydays good. But I was expecting something really good from Payday 3, since I think they have been
Yep.
in development for a very, very long time.
Yep.
But from the new trailer, I'm a bit disappointed, since they shown nothing new compared to Payday 2. The graphics is improved. They put it in a new engine. But from the trailer, it just looks like a upgraded version of Payday 2.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, since they just show a little bit of the gameplay, and the trailer is around 3 minutes or 4 minutes long, so I don't know, maybe they have something up their sleeves, but I'm quite disappointed. There's nothing new there.
Yeah, like looking at it, just searching back, wow, Payday 2. That came out in 2013, 10 years ago. Oh my
Oh
god.
my god, 2013.
Like, I remember we loved the game because it really forced teamwork. Like, the game prior to Payday 2 that I felt so much teamwork was SWAT 4. So that was also a great game. And like Payday 2 was just great because like the upgrading guns, the skill tree of each character. Can you remember which character you played? Which class?
I really forgot, but I was near the end. I was using a chainsaw.
Engineer or technician, I think yeah. So
Yeah,
really
one of
useful in
those,
the
one of
armored
those.
cars, right? So as you were saying, like in the trailer, when I saw Payday 3, the title come out, I was so excited, as you mentioned. But then just when they started to show the gameplay trailer, I had the exact same feel as you. It could have been due to the YouTube compression or any other things, but it looked more like Payday 2.5 rather than
Yes.
a sequel
Like a
of a highly
remaster, yeah.
anticipated. Yes. But you
Yeah.
know, like I did see them slide, and I haven't played the game for so long. I couldn't remember them sliding. But one thing I did see from the trailer, it seems like they had many more different special units from the cops.
Oh, yes.
So that could liven things up. As I told you, as we were watching, I still feel like it's such a game that it lives in the moments. As long as they nail the pace, the adrenaline rush, and when you go loud and all the cops swarming in, like the bulldozer, remember that? The dozer walking
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
And
I
then
still
the
remember that, yeah.
Yep, the Splinter Cell guy coming in and just roundhouse kick you, you know?
Oh, yes. I forgot about the Splinter Cell guy, the spider.
Yes. So, like, as much as initially I did feel underwhelmed, but I think as long as I'm going to be playing with you guys, with friends, or maybe any audience, you know, jump into our Discord and then we can play together, I think it could still be fun. And the best thing is, we come back to this time and time again, it will be on Game Pass. So I'll be playing it.
Yeah. Like you said, you mentioned about SWAT 4 before, right? I do feel like Payday is a bit more forgiving. It gives you a lot of different tactics, like you can go in silent and go away silent if you
Yep.
be able to pull it off. But if you fail that, it just gives you other options. And I still remember the first time I played, or I think we go loud and we finish a mission. And when we thought we got away with the money, we have to there's a map in the middle for us to escape. Like our car crashed.
Yes,
That kind of
that was
different
so
kind of other
surprising.
scenarios. just build up on the game, the heist and everything. It's just like, oh, things can go wrong. Like there's sometimes it can go wrong, sometimes it don't go wrong, and you live in that moment. That's how fun
Yep.
it was.
As you mentioned, that part was so good because especially the first time seeing it and then knowing that this may happen. I mean, it's fun and great, but it's hell annoying when you're like, okay, I'm gonna leave after this, and then you realize, oh, you don't get your loot yet because you got to play another 20 minutes.
Yeah, you don't get to sleep yet.
Yes, but I remember there was a trait from one of the classes where you can guarantee safe exit.
It's not a class perk. I think you have to pay before the mission. Like
Oh,
you have to pay
okay.
extra money for someone to get you out.
Good. I think that's even better. Otherwise, it will waste a class perk.
Yeah, yeah. So I think give them a benefit of the doubt again. So they might improve a lot on those kind of mechanics and different kind of weapons maybe this time.
Yeah. Just to round off the two games that we are quote unquote disappointed with. I mean, the good thing is Avowed is years away and it will still be
Yeah.
good. And with Payday, I feel like just talking to you about it is bringing back memories. And
Yeah.
you know,
We did
when is it coming
like
out? Is it coming out in October?
September 21st.
So like the only games in September, there's going to be Starfield and this. So Starfield being single player, this would I guess be my go-to multiplayer. Oh, but I'm still going back and forth about whether to upgrade the Xbox. You know, I don't want to throw in another $2,000. I'd rather use it on cameras.
Well, with so much game coming out, I mean, your new Xbox is going to be worth the money.
I know, right? I think Starfield alone making it look better on my 4K monitor is gonna be better than the Series S running at 1440. And
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, and like for me, it's always like I feel like the draw distance. It just makes so much difference in a vast game.
Yeah, I think you should absolutely upgrade since there are a lot of games coming out, like Starfield. Is there other games that you are interested in that surprised you?
Yes, definitely. Like listeners will know by now, I have a Xbox and Steam Deck, so I mainly just talk about Xbox games and Steam PC games. As your question was, is there any other games that may tip the scale on helping me upgrade to a better Xbox? I feel like it's just knowing that Xbox finally. I mean, their biggest problem in the last, say, 5, 6, 10 years is consistency of good games, right? And I feel like this
Yes.
showcase really showed the roadmap moving forward. We've known about Fable, we've known about Avowed
Yeah.
is coming, we've known about Outer Worlds 2, we've known about Starfield. And actually, the thing that surprised me the most is something that we never actually had any information on, and that is the studio In Exile. Because their last game, if I am correct, was Wasteland 3. Or was it 4?
Oh, the game that I think
Yep.
3. That's one of the game you talked about in one of our pod before, and you were pretty much interested in it, right?
Yeah, it was. I mean, the story writing was great. It was fun. It was you can do so many mistakes and make wrong decisions. So
Yeah.
with them announcing, because everyone was speculating what type of game they would be doing, and finally seeing the gameplay trailer was great. I mean, In Exile's new game is called Clockwork Revolution. Clockwork Revolution is giving me a lot of steampunk vibe, very Bioshock. And from the word clockwork and then just reading up about it, I think it involves time travel.
Yeah, I'm really into time travel in games, and the art style looks a bit like you said already, looks like BioShock, and I was quite a fan of their series before. Have you played BioShock before?
No, the like Dead Space, Bioshock, those are all the games that I just missed.
Okay. I think those are the times that when we have a lot of multiplayer games to play together, like Payday. But
Yeah.
if it is anything like BioShock 1, 2, 3, I'm quite in for it. And looking at the gameplay of Clockwork Revolution, it looks pretty amazing, especially turning back time. I'm just quite interested to find out more about how the mechanic will work if you like turn back time and see how different things affects. Maybe if you go back in time, do something wrong, and they will just affect what happened in the future. That'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's really cool. Like, Clockwork Revolution being a first person action adventure game is not.
Oh,
Yep. So it's definitely something you could check out.
yeah, but that just surprised me since you never really interested in any first person action adventure single player game. So I was just thinking like when you mentioned first person, I was like, whoa, you're interested in it, so it must be
Yeah.
that good, right?
Well, yes and no, or maybe I just haven't seen enough. I always try those games, but for me, it's commitment. I feel like when you play those games, you have to put everything down and commit time to it. I mean, I tried playing, what was that game by Bethesda that was on PlayStation first and just recently came to Xbox? Deathloop. Yeah. So I played that for a little bit and I just felt like, like when I played it, I loved it. It was really fun. But I felt like once I stopped and then every time I look at it and I'm going to press start, first thing I think about is, can I commit 30 minutes to an hour into it first? And then normally I
Yeah.
can't. And then I don't press it. And then I'm like, okay, let's play something that like Overwatch, which is just a 15-minute round. And then I put it down anytime. I tried playing Dishonor. Those are the games I feel like you got to play because everyone talks about it being amazing, right? And it's just always the same with these type of games for me personally, is never playing it again because I feel like it's a commitment thing. So maybe playing
Yeah.
it on Steam Deck helps.
Yeah, because you got quick resume, so you can just jump in and out.
Yeah. So let's see. I mean, like that's why I didn't put this game in the must buy, but I put this game as something that surprised me, and definitely I would like to see more. So how about you, Ron? Which game surprised you?
What surprised me, that will be, oh, I can't say it. Well, it surprised me not because of the theme of it, but it's because from the developer of it, and I
Oh yeah.
forgot what IP they made before, and it's Star Wars Outlaws.
Oh, Division.
Yeah, when I first heard about like Ubisoft is making an open world Star Wars games, I was like absolutely not interested anymore since I'm having
Agree.
that Ubisoft open world fatigue, like from Far Cry, from all the Assassin's Creed that they released lately. It's huge map cover with a lot of different side activities, which are pretty much the same thing, and pretty much a lot of sandboxing going on around in Far Cry. I was not too interested, and I totally forgot they made Division with the Snowdrop engine. And when I
Yep.
first look at the trailer from this year summer game show from Star Wars Outlaws, I was like, oh, it's a single player game, and it is made from Snowdrop, and it looks like Division. And I was instantly like interested in it since the trailer overall by itself is very engaging. There's this female protagonist starting out with this stealth action, but then I realized something. Like 2 days ago, when chatting with you on WhatsApp, they also made Ghost Recon, right? So I was a little bit worried about, oh, Ghost Recon. That game, we didn't enjoy it too much. But from the trailer, Star Wars Outlaws, the physics in it looks brilliant, and the like cover to cover shooter style is pretty cool.
Yeah. Just very quick correction there. Massive is the studio who is making Star Wars. They made Division. They didn't make Ghost Recon. Ubisoft is the publisher. Ghost Recon is made by Ubisoft Paris, and it is a different engine. So maybe that's a still good hope for you.
Yeah, probably. Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a bit of a relief, to be honest.
Yes.
And from what I see there, I think they took a little bit from the playbook from the good side of Ghost Recon and plug it into the Snowdrop engine, which is going to be great.
Yeah. Just to build on what you said, like I totally agree that when I think we first heard about 2 years ago saying that EA will no longer have the sole license to Star Wars games, and then
Yeah.
that Disney was looking into opening the Star Wars franchise license to many, many studios, which I think is good because we both like Star Wars, and I think more Star Wars content is great. We've been lacking great Star Wars games for quite a long time. So just seeing more Star Wars games, especially after Respawn's Jedi Fallen Order doing so great, and you finish the second game, so you're dying for more Star Wars action. And as you mentioned, I've not really ever found a Ubisoft game that I love. And so first seeing it, Ubisoft open world, as you mentioned, Far Cry, oh my god. I was actually just not interested. But then we saw it and it was just really cool. And I'm glad that it's a single player because it's more controlled in the way, and I feel like the scripted scenes may be more fun. And looking into
Oh, absolutely.
the speeder flying through, entering into town, into a cantina, So I'm just looking forward to how the gameplay goes because as you're an outlaw, you're obviously going to be running from the law a lot. So I want to see whether is it going to be GTA style, where if you're in a town and you do something wrong, you're going to be wanted, just like the trailer showed us. How are you going to get
All right.
away? Like, do you need to be running away and hide like GTA or Need for Speed?
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. But you don't like the driving part, right?
I mean, yeah, I don't like the driving. I don't like most driving in games which are not driving games, but it's a speeder,
Yeah.
so I will forgive it. I still remember
Yeah.
playing Star Wars Pod Racer back in like
Oh,
2000s.
that
That
one
was
was
such a
really
good
good.
game.
Yeah, I remember that too. All right, let's move on. Is there any other games that interested you in the game show?
Before I talk about a game that I really, really enjoyed, just a quick mention. I thought the trailer in Flight Sim was kind of cool. I thought it was going to be a new game for Flight Sim,
Ah,
but having it, because we tried Flight Simulator as soon as it was on Xbox and it was fun, but I didn't really play more because it was fun to drive along, fly along Hong Kong. But now having it with occupations, I'm wondering, is it going to be like Crazy Taxi, you know?
for me, it's not really my type of game. What is it really that Flight Simulator that makes you think you are interested in it?
I think it's just having it with occupations. So, for example, the first one that showed you was something like forest fire
Mhm.
plane, and I guess there will be missions to do. But I think overall for me, it's just knowing that they are continue supporting the game rather than like the last
Yes.
Flight Simulator, which was ages ago.
Yeah.
Is I'm just looking forward to
Yeah.
them just keep upgrading this, and I think their collaboration with things like Top Gun and all of those is just cool. And I hope they keep building the game because I'm sure many others love it.
Yeah, like you said, I'm quite interested now since one of the reasons about I'm not too interested in Flight Simulator is just we just get on a plane and fly. That's it. See the world, exploring. That's why I stopped within like half an hour from flying. And if they give us some missions to do, that would be quite interesting.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe we should do the podcast whilst flying.
Oh, that would be pretty cool, right?
Yes. Okay, so apart from Flight Sim, that was kind of something that caught my eye. One game that is touching must play for me is actually an indie game. Okay. It
Okay.
is ridiculous. It's called 33 Immortals. Did you see that trailer?
33 Immortals. No, I did not. What is it about?
Okay, so remember we both like Hades.
Oh, yeah,
Yep. And what do you
absolutely.
think the number 33 in the name stands for?
33.
33 Immortals.
30 gods, probably.
Close, because immortal don't die.
Ah, players then, I guess.
Yes, you can do 33 co-op multiplayer.
Co-op?
Yes.
Oh, that's pretty fun.
It's,
Really?
it's
So it's like a
crazy, right?
Hades-like game, yeah?
Yep, it's not 4 player. It's not 8. It's 33.
33. Well, why is that number then? I have
No
no
idea.
idea.
But I think it's
I
just
really need to
ridiculous.
check that trailer, yeah. Yeah.
So after seeing it, it gives me that Hades vibe. It's a roguelike. It is indie roguelike, and from seeing it more from yesterday, I saw that you kind of get different classes, and the cool thing is some ultimates require other players to do it together. So, like if I remember
It's like a
correctly,
combo.
there were ultimates where 3 players must stand in a triangle, and then you can, if you're an archer, then 3 players can stand in a triangle and do the ultimate, and then you have like just a massive volley of arrows flying through the screen. You know, like the old school Street
Yeah.
Fighter with Hadouken across the screen. That gave me that vibe.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and especially hopefully it's a game that I can play on Steam Deck, and I'm gonna definitely see what the price is. I want to see more from it, and yeah, that's the game that I am also pretty interested.
But is it a Game Pass game though?
It is on Game Pass, so the good thing is,
It is on
being it
Game
on
Pass.
Game Pass, it
Ah.
means you will find 33 players to play on it with it together.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to ask you. If it is not on Game Pass, it might be hard for us to find 33 players. Like for us, it's Battlefront before, right?
Yes.
We bought the game and it's a low screen simulator. And
Yep.
well, I'm pretty sure you can still play this game alone, but it'll be
Okay.
mad to find a server with 33 players.
Yes, it's just so cool. Okay, it is coming out in 2024. They have not given
Hmm.
a release date, but it is next year. And if I remember
Hmm.
correctly, it is on Xbox and PC Steam. But yeah, it looks great. I mean, just looking at the art style is very Hades, very indie, more colorful than not more colorful, but darker than Tunic, a bit like Death Door. Oh, a bit
Hmm.
like Call of the Lamb. Also, I just feel like it's
Oh,
just
Call of the
those that
Lamb,
are
yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
and it looks cool. And co-op combat with 32 other players will just be,
that would be
you
crazy,
know,
yeah.
just mayhem.
Right, pretty cool. I'm looking forward to play with you at least, and
Yeah.
31 more players.
Yes. So let's try and get 31 subscribers. If you haven't hit like and subscribe already, subscribe and so you can join our Discord later and then we may call you up to kill some gods, I think, if I remember correctly. So Ron, how about you? What other games apart from Spider-Man and the games we talked about in the last episode, what other games are you interested in?
Oh, the one that, oh, there's quite a few more, but the two games that really caught my eyes are Dragon Dogma 2 and Fable. But Fable didn't really show us too much apart from the folklore that the premise of the game is going to focus on, which is like the beanstalk giant. I really
Yep.
like Fable since it is the game that I grew up with, and the new trailer started up with Moss from IT Guys. It was a pretty fun trailer to start off the
It was
Xbox
good.
game show. But we didn't really get to see too much gameplay, so I can't say too much on it. I'm still very, very interested in Fable. Let's go on to Dragon Dogma. Have you ever played Dragon Dogma 1?
No. Is it a Nintendo game? Or is it a PS
It's
game?
not a Nintendo game. I think it's from a PS to begin with, but I played it on both Switch and PC before. I didn't get to finish it, but I'm really, really fun. I'm really, really interested in it since, like, there's a lot of games like high fantasy games that you fight these giant monsters. But the special thing about Dragon Dogma series is that when you fight these monsters, you get to climb on it to actually fight against it. It's really
Oh.
more about the engaging fight. It was kind of like a action RPG version of Dragon Age, if I have to say.
Now saying Dragon Age makes me interested already.
And one of the most
Is it
interesting thing is that you can
okay?
create different kind of NPC called pawns that you can upload to their cloud server that other player can use. When you can summon other people's pawn as well, so you can use other players' characters in your party. And the new
Okay.
game, Dragon Dogma, the second version of it, is going to improve on that system. But I still haven't seen any like proper mechanics behind it. So, but I'm still pretty interested since the first game is pretty cool about the pawn system, and I really did enjoy seeing different class creation of it.
Okay. And they have not set a release date yet, so
No,
probably 2025 or beyond, I guess.
yeah,
So
something like it's more closer to done compared to Fable since they are showing
yep,
way more compared to what they
yep,
did with Fable. I think it's mainly because Playground Games is the one who's behind Fable, right? They are quite busy
yeah,
with Forza Motorsport lately, so I don't blame them. So once they get
yeah.
Forza Motorsport out, I think they'll just focus on Fable.
Yeah, but with Playground, just to say, they actually have two teams now. One is the Fable team and one is
Two
the
teams now.
Horizon team. So that's
Oh,
pretty
okay.
good. Yeah, so I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to Playgrounds. Like just to touch on Fable, as you mentioned, I am kind of. I'm just gonna say this: the only Fable I played is the Wii version a while
The Wii
ago.
version of it. Oh my
I
god.
think Fable 4 or maybe Fable 3, but everyone said like 2 is the best, right?
I think one is the best since this is the first one I played. And funny enough, Fable, the first game, is the first time I hear about. Maybe I didn't watch too much TV before. I think it's the first game I learned about Scottish accent. Yeah,
Yes.
and I still remember like you start off at this. They got this system like the NPC will call you and not call you by name, but call you by your like what you're known for. At the very
Yep.
beginning, your name to the NPC is called Chicken Chaser, which is pretty cool.
Yes, yes. I like Fable. The tone is just once more. It's just fun and ridiculous, right? I've had
Yeah.
no experience with Dragon's Dogma, but I have seen it before. So it's a Capcom game. I haven't played too many Capcom games. I think DMC4 was my last Capcom game. So that is cool. So let me ask you, why is Dragon's Dogma 2 not a game for you as a must play? but rather as a game that you would like to see a bit more.
Well, since they didn't have a release date, so as well as they need to show us more about the storyline, and the graphics looks a bit dull compared to other games we have, especially like Starfield and everything else.
Yep.
So I need to see more, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, like just to touch on the part of the graphics, as we foresee this game not going to be released before 2025, so the same conversation as Avowed, like they're probably pre-alpha footage, and you know,
Probably.
I'm not a game developer, but I am pretty. I guess like graphics is not the first thing they do, right? I
Yeah.
guess they get the systems and the story and all of those done before polishing the graphics. So I guess
Yeah.
they do have more than 2 years to touch up on that. So let's hope by that time we'll be like near mid-gen, so it will be able to power these systems.
Okay, I think we are done for the day.
Yes.
So a lot of good games to look forward to in this year and the next few, to be honest. And we are all pretty excited.
Yep, I would say so. Like, I'm so excited that I'm thinking about upgrading my Xbox, right? So let's
Yeah.
hope that we can expand more listeners and potentially grab a few more listeners so they can, you know, potentially play a few games like 33 Immortals together. So next episode, you know, we have a few ideas going around. I think we have round off this summer game showcase period pretty well. And by the time that the next episode is up, it's already nearly 1 month since Xbox Showcase and those. So, you know, probably a bit
Yeah.
late to continue to talk about that. I think we can wrap up with this episode. So we have a few more, like mainly on the games we have played during our absence. And I'm definitely looking forward to having a episode where we chat about trying to game as a dad.
I'm looking forward to that episode and tell you all guys about how great it is to be a dad and how annoying it can be as well.
And I guess how it has changed us as gamers from easily spending 4 hours into games to now barely being able to commit more than 20 minutes. So that kind of changed. I guess that really changed the type of games that we can and enjoy playing also.
So thank you very much for watching again. Leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed this episode.
Follow us by searching L2LT Gaming on IG, Twitter, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.
Have a great one. Bye-bye.
All right, have a great one.